Okay, so today we're going to show you how to create an interactive PDF or Acrobat file. I've got a file here that Keith Pegg has had me look at in the past. It's a worksheet which he's used with kids before. We've scanned it via a photocopier and it's turned into a PDF for me. And now what I would like to be able to do is add some fields to it so that I can edit it. So I'm just going to make sure that I open it, in this case, with actually the full version of Acrobat, so Adobe Acrobat Pro. On a Mac it could have been opened in Preview, it could have been opened in another number of other programs as well. On a PC, same deal, you want to make sure that you open up Acrobat Pro, and that is installed on all of our teachers' computers. You could open up the program first and of course go to here, Open. To turn it into a form, I'm going to come up here to the Form menu, and while I'm using the Mac version of the program, the PC version is very similar. I'm going to start the form wizard. And it's going to say, do I want to use the current document? I'm going to say yes. Use the current document to convert. And then what it's going to go through is it's going to look at this page and it's going to say, we think we've found a whole lot of fields which could be used for a form. And to be honest, that could be enough. We could immediately use it just like that. So I could go close form editing, and then I have all these boxes where I can now type in on the screen and work there. It's not exactly the way I'd like it, so I'm going to actually go back and edit the fields. When I do this, it's going to want me to save it, so I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Edit, meaning that I can edit it, but it's up to you what version you want to use. I'm actually going to delete some of these ones that I've just written in, and I'm just going to keep one box for different purposes. So in this case, I'm going to have one box there. And what I'm going to do is, with these bigger boxes, is I'm just going to stretch them out so they're bigger there. Same thing here, and obviously if the program hasn't picked up the right spots for you, you may want to change it around. I don't really want 4 lines for them to write. What I want them to have is one space, which as it finishes up the line, you can go from there. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on them and go to their properties. And under Options, there will be a section there which will make it go multi-line. And there's a lot of other options there, of course, that you can play with as well. I'm going to set all of these to be multi-lined. And that means that when a kid just gets to the end of a line, it automatically just jumps down to the next one. The way that it creates it originally can be a bit of a pain. So that realistically is now an editable form which the kids could fill in and then could be emailed back to you. But then I would like to also have little ticker boxes up here. See where it says circle the words? We're going to change them to be ticks. So I'm going to go up here to Forms, and I'm going to go Form Tools, and I can pick any of these options that are here. I'm going to use checkboxes. I think they're the most handy ones. I even use checkboxes for multiple choice, because majority of the time kids will only tick one option anyway, and they're actually heaps easier to set up than radio buttons, which can have multiple. So I'm just going to put one here. I don't care what it's called because the kids will never see it. I could name it if I wanted to. And I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to place multiple fields. Now I have 6 across and 2 down, so I'm going to go 2 down and 6 across. And what it will do for me is it will give me them. So I'm shift selecting them, and I'm just going to drag them out to put them in the right spot. And this one's nice and easy since they're basically in columns already. And these two here I'm going to drag across a bit so that they're in the right spot. And then I'm going to do a similar thing down the bottom. I'm going to go to Forms, Form Tools, and I'm going to add another checkbox there. Once again, I don't care about its name, but I could if I wanted to. I'm going to go Place Multiple Fields, so right clicking on it again. This case there's 7 boxes, so I'm just going to go 2 down, 4 across. I'm going to drag, I'm just going to do these ones individually, it won't take me very long. I'm going to get rid of that one, so I've got Matthew. And now what I should have, if I close form editing, I have a PDF file which can now be accessed. They can tick multiple choices, they can click in here and type. And as it goes down, it doesn't fully line up with the lines there. I guess that's the advantage of the original thing. I can type something in there, And once again, as I go down, I can take it from there, tick a couple of boxes, which is the appropriate ones for Keith. And then the kids will be able to save these. They'd be able to email them back to the teacher. They'd be able to submit them by Moodle. They'd be able to put them into Edmodo. They could even put them into Google Documents and share the file back to you. So there's a lot of ways of getting the information back. One of the nice features that it does have is that when it says distribute forms, before distributing forms, it's got certain changes here. Would you like to save them? Yes. And I can give it another name, so I might call this one Final. And it says some of the fields that already contain values. Would you like to clear them? And I'm going to go, yes, I would, so that all my answers disappear. Then there's a whole lot of different ways that it can be done. I can just email them, distribute them. I can do a number of options for them there, and this can be quite a handy little way of doing it. There's some Adobe ID stuff if you want to do that. I don't normally worry about that. I will actually just normally go manually collect my responses in my email. Click there, and it will send it using Adobe Acrobat, or you could just save a local copy and send it later. A really handy way of doing it. Hopefully that's been of help to you. I guess, one last thing that I will mention. For students on iPads, for them to be able to access these forms, they really do need to have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed. And probably a similar thing on the Macs. These forms don't always work well on the Preview app. It's probably better to have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed on Macs as well. And that just pretty well guarantees that it will work properly. They're both free apps, and I would warn the kids a couple of days before you need to do it that having Adobe Reader is an excellent idea.